In the span of 7 months, the Texas football program has landed the number one overall prospect from the 2021 recruiting class and the 2023 recruiting class. Both quarterbacks, Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning. So what exactly does a compare and contrast between the two prospects look like on paper? Especially when you consider that both are thought to be either perfect or nearly perfect college football prospects. Let's break it down. Texas Longhorns are in the midst of a season that might just see them climb the Big 12 mountaintop after the destruction of Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl. Quinn Ewers has arrived. Arch Manning is on the way. There's no better place to follow the future than on orangebloods.com and the Orange Bloods Texas football channel on YouTube. On a scale of 1 to 10, Ewers rates as a 12 in terms of arm talent. I'm not sure I've ever seen a better, more accurate thrower of the football in the short and intermediate windows than Ewers. He makes throws in these tight windows that other really talented quarterbacks can't make look pretty effortless. Meanwhile, Arch doesn't quite have the arm talent that Ewers has. On a scale of 1 to 10, he's probably a 9. He can make all of the throws one needs to make on the passing tree, but he's not quite the freak that Ewers is. Ironically, despite all of the arm talent, I think Arch is probably a better thrower of the deep ball than Ewers. That's not to say that Manning can throw the ball farther or with more velocity, but he seems to have a unique feel for the geometry needed to throw the ball down the field with a tremendous sense of timing that is really standalone when watching most young quarterbacks. It's one of the areas that I think is a little bit of a work in progress for Ewers, which really isn't that unusual for any young quarterback. From a mobility standpoint, I'd probably give the edge to Manning, who's a pretty salty little basketball player and brings some of that hoops fluidity to the field. He's probably more comfortable making plays with his feet and moving out of the pocket to his right and throwing long. Whereas Ewers probably throws that short and intermediate ball when moving to his right better than almost anyone on the planet. Manning is more likely to get you 10 yards on 3rd and 9 with his feet than Ewers, but neither are stiffs by any stretch of the imagination. In terms of intangibles, Manning obviously has a pretty strong rep when it comes to knowing the game of football and being able to give dissertations and chalk talk. That's an area where Ewers is probably a bit behind him at the same point in their careers. Still, there's no getting around the fact that Ewers played a more competitive brand of high school football in the state of Texas than Arch sees in Louisiana at the private school level from week to week. Ewers took his team to a state championship game. Both are winners, but one has done it at a much higher level than the other. Overall, both are 5-star prospects. Ewers' number one strength is his arm talent. Manning's might be his brain. Forced to choose between the two as college prospects, I'd probably give the edge to Ewers because of that sick arm talent. I mean, seriously, it's out of this world good. But Texas doesn't have to choose. It's going to get both over the course of the next half decade. And that makes Steve Sarkisian and the Texas football program maybe the biggest winners in college football. What's really interesting about the relationship of both players is how intertwined their careers appear to be, as Ewers finishes his career with the Longhorns while Arch prepares to start his. For Ewers, we're talking about a young man that has a plan in place to be ready to declare for the 2024 NFL Draft in a couple of years. When Ewers reclassified from the 2022 recruiting class to the 2021 class last fall, it wasn't a decision that was 100% made with both eyes focused on being able to take advantage of NIL opportunities. Yes, that was a part of it, but it also ensured that he'd be able to declare for the NFL Draft a season earlier. Of course, things like injuries could still occur to change the plan, but as it stands, there's a sense that Ewers and his team have a goal of being the starting quarterback for the Longhorns in 2021 and 2023. And at that point, he'll declare for the draft, where he'll likely compete with USC's Caleb Williams to be the number one overall pick in the NFL Draft. It'll sound like lunacy for some to hear that kind of talk when he hasn't finished his first full season as a starting quarterback at Texas. But his talent is at a level where these types of conversations aren't premature. It's merely a matter of him getting enough film on tape to confirm what everyone suspects to be true, which is that he's a generational talent at the most important position on the field. It would be a massive disappointment from the perspective of viewers and those that are at the forefront of his camp if he's not at the top of the draft in 2024. Meanwhile, Manning is a player that has always viewed viewers' presence at Texas as a positive because it does a couple of things for him. Number one, it allows Manning to possibly redshirt in 2023, which is something that his family believes would be good for his development. Number two, it takes some of the pressure of him coming into the program and not having to be the prince that is given the task of saving Texas football. If things go well, he won't have to save anything. He'll take over the reins in 2024 of a program that at that point will have already established itself as among the best teams in the country, if everything goes according to plan. He'll be able to settle into being a major college quarterback and all of the responsibilities that go with it. There's a misperception among some college football fans and journalists that there's a major problem looming in the distance in 2023 when both of these players are on campus at the same time, because there's only one football and room for one quarterback to throw it. Yet Ewers was instrumental in Texas landing a commitment from Manning. The two communicate on a consistent basis, and there doesn't appear to be any issues with the players being able to coexist. In fact, it's fair to say without the presence of Ewers, landing a commitment from Manning would have been much more difficult for the Texas staff. It's pretty rare when circumstances can come together like they have for the Longhorns, where two players at the same position with such huge reputations can exist comfortably together. But after a decade of breaks going against them, the Texas program finally got a big one to go its way.